welcome back my adoring public to more Trails of Cold Steel. Pharaoh Fiasco here. So I went ahead, off screen, I tried exiting to take care of that avian monster, but I got the same message from, not the same message, but it was Rean and Elliot this time rather than Alisa, telling us that we need to start our investigation. So we actually have to get started on this before we can do anything else. Wait, didn't they clean this up? I thought they cleaned this up. Guess not. Oh well. So what's up, Heinz? And to think, I was ecstatic to finally participate in the famous Celdic Grand Market. What did I ever do to deserve this? Excuse me. You! I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you had to see me acting like that. I hope you can forgive me for my inappropriate behavior. He seems really down. It's quite understandable. He's a merchant in a busy market, unable to do business. So, what brings you here? Did you need something from me? Well, actually, Rean explained that he and his classmates were investigating the truth behind what had happened the previous night. You're investigating? That's right, and we'd really appreciate it if you could answer a few questions for us. You may be able to help us find the true culprit. I suppose it can't hurt. It's better than doing nothing, at least. You don't have to sound so pessimistic. Well, can you blame me? You're students at a military academy. You're not exactly ace detectives. That is true, but we're still determined to find out who did this. We may even be able to recover your goods. Cooperating with us could prove quite fruitful. Okay, fine. I never said I wouldn't help you, did I? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say, though. It's not like I saw anything worth mentioning. You didn't? As soon as I made sure my stall was ready to open the next morning, I left everything and set up and went home. The other merchants around here can vouch for that. Guess I shouldn't have left the stall unattended, though. By the time I got in, it was too late. The deed had been done. So by morning, the stall had already been destroyed and your goods stolen. Come to think of it, what goods were stolen exactly? Oh, I have a sample with me, actually. What is that? Is that a ring? An accessory? Is this a brand that's popular in the capital? Been a real hit lately, yeah. I was hoping to bring the fad here by selling them at the market. But this is the only one I have left now. I dread to think of just how much money I lost in one single night. That damned coward sabotaging my business! It's much too early to be jumping to conclusions. Do you have any evidence that proves his culpability? No, but he's clearly the prime suspect. He was so against the idea of taking turns sharing this spot with me, he decided he'd destroy my stall altogether. I just know it. I'm going to get him to give me my goods back, no matter what it takes. Please, try to stay calm. You do know that if you cause any more trouble, the provincial army really will arrest you, right? Yeah, I know, but it's a matter of justice. I can't just act like nothing ever happened. It's wrong on general principle. I'm begging you, please get my goods back, whatever it takes. Well, I can't promise success, but I swear to you, we'll do everything we can. That much I can promise. Okay, I think that's everything this merchant knows. Let's try questioning the other one. Yeah, he'd be set up in one of the back corners, right? Yeah. He got the crap spot. What the hell am I supposed to do now? Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but could we have a moment of your time? You're those kids from that military academy, right? Huh. What do you want from me? I've got nothing to sell you, obviously. Even if I did have something to sell, I've got no place to sell it. Basically ruined. And to top it all off, the provincial army and that other damn merchant are acting like I'm the one who did it. He's not taking this very well, is he? Hard to blame him, but we need to see if he knows anything that might help us. Well, you see, Rean explained that he and his classmates were investigating the truth behind what had happened the previous night. You're investigating this mess, huh? Okay. So would you consider cooperating with us? Sure, why not? Not getting my hopes up, as I'm sure you can understand, but hell, I've got nothing left to lose. Not exactly a vote of confidence. Hey, he's willing to cooperate. I say we cut him some slack and hear him out. So, about last night, at the same time the incident actually happened. Last night, huh? I don't know how much help I can be if that's what you're asking about here. See, I left the market right after arguing with that merchant yesterday, and I didn't come back till this morning. I stayed over at a friend's place, another merchant, just got pissed drunk and ranted at him all night. And you're certain of this? Positive. And my friend, if you don't ask my friend if you don't believe me, he'll back me up. I wandered over here with an awful hangover this morning, and what I found gave me a hell of a start. My whole stall in shambles. And as if that weren't bad enough, all the processed foods I was going to sell were just gone. Not a trace. So the goods that were stolen were all processed foods. That's right. Nuts, cheese, bacon, all foods that have a long shelf life, made with local ingredients. Seeing all my stuff gone really sobered me up. It was like I hadn't been drinking at all. And that's when I went over to that fool's stall to make him pay for it. Why did you go straight to him? Because he was the one who did it, of course. He smashed my stall so he could have that spot all to himself. But that doesn't make any sense. If Heinz did it, then why was his stall destroyed too? Yeah, don't have an answer for that, huh? He must have done that to himself. Probably figured if he destroyed his own stall, no one would believe he could be responsible. I don't know, dude. I don't know. That seems pretty unlikely. It's a bit excessive. While I understand your frustration, baseless accusations do no one any favors and only cloud the true issue. But it's so frustrating getting told by a bunch of teenagers. I've lost so much money because of this. I might have to shut up shop for good. That is bad. If I could at least get my goods back, maybe I could salvage enough to stay afloat, but what are the odds of that? None of the other merchants saw anybody do anything, and the provincial army sure ain't about to help. I'm finished, pure and simple. All this hard work I've put into getting this far, and this is how the dream ends for me. Well, I'll be honest. I'm not sure how much we'll actually be able to do for you, but we'll do everything in our power to help you find some form of closure. So cheer up, okay? Thanks, Elliot, for that valuable input. I do appreciate that, but again, I ain't about to get my hopes up. Good luck, though. Okay, so we talked to both of those jokers, now we're gonna convene amongst ourselves. That's all the two victims of this crime have to say, it seems. What does everybody think? I can't be sure, but I really don't think either of them is responsible. Both merchants certainly have adequate motive to damage the other's stall, but the chance of both committing the same crime on the same night without crossing paths is virtually nil. It's not impossible that they were just out to steal each other's merchandise, but I don't believe that's what happened. Both of them have alibis confirming that they were somewhere else when the crime took place. I'm inclined to agree. I just can't see either of these merchants being responsible for what happened. So we're going to have to look elsewhere to find viable suspects. Where though? I mean, who could it possibly have been? The provincial army, dude, come on! There's no way this wasn't the provincial army! Yeah, Alisa's with me, dude. It's impossible to say right now. We don't have any solid leads. We know who the culprit wasn't, but how are we supposed to start narrowing down who it was? The market itself seems unlikely to produce any further clues, so we should focus our attention elsewhere. Actually, there is one thing that's been bugging me. There's one group of people involved in this whole situation whose actions don't seem to make any sense. Maybe, if we can work out the reasoning behind their strange behavior, we can come one step closer to finding our culprit. Now I face out. Whom do you mean? I reach out to the truth of my life. I'm talking about the Provincial Army. The Provincial Army. They haven't done a thing to try and solve this crime, despite it happening right under their noses. And that begs the question, why not? The market manager said they're refusing to fulfill their role due to the tax issue, which means the Provincial Army should refuse to intervene in quarrels within the market as well. If that's the case, then why did they come and intervene this morning? Now that you mention it, that really doesn't make any sense. Their methods were atrocious, but the fact is, they brought that dispute to an end almost instantly. They did get involved. Yeah, one minute they're refusing to do anything, then the next they're taking a stand. It's definitely suspicious. My point exactly. There's definitely something unnatural about the way they're conducting themselves. And since we have no other leads, what do you say we go take the army's guard? What do you say we go to the army's guardhouse and take a look around? Might be able to hear something from them that could aid us in our investigation. That may be worth an attempt. The guardhouse isn't too far from here either. Let's head on over and see what we can find out. AP increased by 1. Kind of random, but okay. Dude, and seriously, are we gonna, like, is this gonna force us to complete the main quest before we can do the other one? We're gonna save on this one. Alright, now that we're all saved up, we can go ahead and start pointing fingers at people, dude. And we're still freaking broke, dude. 90 mira, holy crap. The Provincial Army was not this away, it's this away. Specifically this away. What's up, dude? What's up, best friend? Let's talk, let's chat. Aren't you those students from that military academy, was it? What are you doing here? We're terribly sorry to trouble you, but we were hoping you might be able to help us with something. Could we ask you a few questions about the incident that occurred at the Grand Market this morning? What? What does that have to do with you? We're visiting this town on a field study as students of the Thors Military Academy, as we would very much appreciate the chance to see how experienced soldiers, such as yourselves, handle difficult everyday situations. This seems a perfect opportunity for an anecdotal case study and could provide most invaluable to our education, if you'd permit it. You did flatter me really effectively right then, lady, so... Alright, stay here. I'll see what I can do. Is he gonna bring his boss out here to talk with us? Does he really have time to just chat with a bunch of teenagers? It looks like we might be able to hear what they have to say for themselves after all. Dude, good job, Laura, you did it! Nicely done, Laura! In times like these, we need to make good use of our positions. No one can fault a student for wanting to learn, after all. But now comes the hard part. This makes me nervous. Well, let's just wait and see what we can get out of them. Remember, it's not always what they say that matters, but how they say it, and even more importantly, what they don't say. Right. So, yep, it's the big boss. He's got time to just talk with us? I hope you appreciate us taking time out of our busy schedules for this. So what do you want? And make it quick, I'm a busy man, you know. He's not even trying to keep up appearances. Unbelievable. I'll be brief then. We came to discuss the incident at the market this morning. Would we be correct in assuming that the provincial army will be conducting no further investigation? Is that all you came here to ask? Is that all? Should the armed forces charged with maintaining peace in this region not be taking this matter more seriously? Laura, I'm not sure. You got a big mouth for someone your age. And it seems you have a lot to learn about how military units actually work. What do you mean? Let me ask you this. What should the number one priority of the provincial army be in order to maintain the status quo? And I'll tell you, their number one priority should be to enforce the will of their region's ruling lord, Duke Alberea. As members of the provincial army, the will of the nobility is absolute. We're just following our orders, protecting what we have a duty to protect. I assume you're referring to the local petition against the sales tax increase? So you're saying as long as the petition isn't withdrawn, the grand market isn't something you have a duty to protect? Interpret my words however you want. We're soldiers. We follow our orders. That's how the military works. And we don't need some fresh military academy inductees telling us how to do our jobs. Ugh. This is nuts. Does he even have a tiny shred of shame? I was hoping we'd be able to get something out of him, but it doesn't seem too likely anymore. So is that it then? I hope this has been enlightening. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a job to do. Wait. I'm about to drop the mic on you, fool. Would you mind answering just one more question? Elliot? Fine, ask it. Well, do you have any idea what might have happened to the goods Marco was handling? You know, the accessory merchant. All he had left was that one sample. What are you talking about? That merchant from the capital, Hines, was the one who was planning on selling accessories. What? What did you just say? How do you know that, bro? What are you all looking at me like that for? How do you know that? I was under the impression you hadn't investigated the matter at all. How peculiar. We only discovered what each of the merchants was intending to sell a short while ago ourselves. Got him! Elliot! With the rope-a-dope! Sir, we have our own ways of finding these things out. You do well not to underestimate us. Now, we've wasted enough time answering your questions. We're leaving. Yeah, you run, dude. You run. Freaking Elliot, dude. He was like, Rean, I wanted to help. Do you guys think the fact that they know what each of the merchants was selling means they did investigate the matter after all? But the burglary happened last night, and it was only first discovered this morning. Realistically, I don't think there was any opportunity during that time for them to do any digging. Not without running into us. Agreed. I suspect they knew what each merchant was planning to sell well in advance of yesterday's incident. Though, that would be easy information for them to learn, since Duke Alberea must have issued permits for both stalls. That's true, and the army would have no trouble gaining access to transaction records for something like that. But why would they bother? Maybe they needed to know so they could prepare. Prepare for what? I get the impression that the incident at the market has been carefully planned out for a while now. I don't think those two merchants being given permits for the same spot was a coincidence either. It was probably done to get them to start fighting so they could get robbed while there was tension between them. Basically, to create a situation that couldn't be brought under control without the army's help. So the two merchants were being used all along. That seems to fit perfectly with what happened this morning. Meanwhile, the provincial army has shown no interest in actively working toward a solution. Unless the market manager chooses to withdraw his petition. So the time they waited for things to get out of hand, then showed up to force both parties into an uncomfortable truce. Eventually, the merchants would get worn down enough to feel that they'd feel like they have no choice but to withdraw the petition. This is turning out to be an even shadier situation than I thought. Yeah, but thanks to Elliot, I do believe we finally uncovered the truth of the matter. Reach out to the truth of my life, seeking the seas on the whole moment to now break away. Okay, enough of that. There was indeed some very quick thinking you displayed, Elliot. You'd make a fine military strategist. I just got lucky is all. So, what we know is, the provincial army is somehow involved with the actual perpetrators of this crime. The only way to solve it once and for all, though, seems to be, well, to find them and catch them. But if this was carried out by members of the provincial army, that's not going to be an easy task. No, I don't think anyone from the army was directly involved. The soldiers here are far too proud to dirty their hands with such escapades. Huh. So I may have been a little premature in jumping to the provincial army did it theory then. Oh well. I tend to agree. Really, whoever the culprits are, I doubt they're still here in Celdic. There just aren't many viable places to hide such a huge volume of goods without them being found. Yeah, that's a good point. Was it the bird that did it? Maybe they escaped by train? No, that can't be. Boarding a train with that much merchandise would raise suspicion for sure. It's been less than a day since the burglary happened, so they can't have gotten far. Maybe we should ask around on the main roads and see if anyone saw anything out of the ordinary. Someone suspicious may have been spotted leaving or even entering the town. That sounds like a wise course of action. Come on. Oh, come. Let's resume our search. We mustn't let this cowardly thief run free. I wouldn't dream of it. Alright, cool. So we did some super sleuthing right there, and they're still not available. Dude, seriously, what do I have to do to be able to knock out this avian thing? So if talking on the main roads, we should probably focus on gathering more information first. Indeed, let us return. Crap! Okay, so let's just start talking to people. Oh, actually, Anita! Anita's been standing here for a while, hasn't she? Nope. Capture the culprit. This guy. Is it this guy? It's him, right? Or maybe we can leave this way now? Nope. Crap, dude. Okay. What about... Do you have something for me? You're not getting any mirror from me, dude. So, Hama doesn't know anything, the drunk guy doesn't know anything, Anita doesn't know anything. This chick, what about you? Did I notice anyone suspicious? I don't think so. The only people who come to mind are you guys, to be honest. You all kind of stand out. Yeah, with our matching red uniforms. What about you, dude? Do you know anything? Someone suspicious looking. Sorry, man, can't help you. I've been hanging by the station all day thanks to work, so I haven't seen anyone. You might want to ask Jake and his crew, though. They're always playing by the highway, so they know more about it than me. Jake and his crew, but which highway, though? Okay, on the off... Oh! Hiss. Oh, Lulu. Lulu, are you okay? Look what that nasty man did to her. Is something the matter? I was just chasing after Lulu near the west exit of town, and there was this weird man asleep along the side of the street. A weird man? The drunkard we saw earlier, perhaps? Probably. The nasty smell coming off of him nearly made little Lulu faint. That's terrible! It really was. I don't know who he is, but I'll have to keep an eye on Lulu to make sure she keeps her distance from him. So he's not from this town then. I'm not sure. I only started seeing him around a few days ago. I'd never seen him before that. Really now? That sounds like a lead if I've ever heard one. If he's drinking in the middle of the day and isn't Instructor Sarah, then we know he's not a merchant at the very least. Yeah, and I think we should go talk to him. Let's have a look near the west exit and see if we can track him down. Dude, they're seriously gonna make me do this quest before I can kill that avian thing. But yeah, we just talked to him and he was asking for Mira. Alright, yep, he's got a red exclamation point over his head now. What's up, dude? What were you doing, bro, Johnson? Drink. Bring me another drink. P.U. This guy reeks! How much has he put down? It's only midday and he's already completely blitzed. I don't think this is the man we're looking for. I think he'd have trouble pulling off a robbery. Sir? Are you alright? We can help you back home if you'd like. Shut up. Leave me alone. I'm just like good for nothing who just lost his job. Looking after that nature park was my whole life. Nature park? He's talking about, Lunaria, right? I wonder if he's talking about the Lunaria Nature Park we saw yesterday. Oh, you kids know it? You see? Like, you should be the park ranger for that whole place. And then you lost your job? Yeah, out of nowhere, too. I gave my life to that job, I did. And then he just came and took it all from me. That damned official just showed up out of nowhere and told me I was sacked. You can't just take a man's livelihood off him like that. It's not fair. That job was my life. My life. Dang, that sucks, bro. Yes, we can see that. Something about this doesn't sound right. I agree. It hardly seems fair to take a man's job away from him without good reason. Right? I'm glad somebody understands how I feel. There's no way a bunch of kids like that are gonna do a better job than me. A bunch of kids? Kids? Wait, is that the other group? I was drinking here last night too, see? And a bunch of kids in ranger uniforms went walking out of the town through the west exit. Oh! Weird thing was, they was carrying a bunch of wooden boxes too. In the middle of the night. Kids these days, I tell ya. You don't think they could have been the nature park? I wouldn't even have considered it. But given its size, it would no doubt be a perfect hiding spot. Yeah, they'd have no trouble stashing the merchandise there undetected. The men standing at the entrance yesterday were probably there as lookouts. And if a provincial officer was the one to tell him he was fired, that's practically a smoking gun. Huh? I say something useful or something? Don't know what I said, but if I helped you out, why not buy me a drink? We're not old enough to do that, dude. I would suggest you start trying to sober yourself up instead. There's a good chance we may be able to recover both your park and your job. What? We know our next stop. As soon as we're fully prepared, let's head out to the Lunaria Nature Park. Right. Okay, excellent. So, and now, with this music, definitely, I wasn't really paying attention, but I noticed the music changed to the normal theme. Dang, I'm gonna have to go back and try and figure out what that theme was. But now it's opened up, so we went ahead, we found out what was going on, and we can hopefully get this guy his job back so he's not freaking out anymore. But we're gonna get to the bottom of what was going on with that merchant and probably take down the avian thing, but that'll be next time. So join me then for more Trails of Cold Steel. Bye for now, guys.